Playing death games to put food on the table. Is this anime right for you? Now, this anime does a lot. It really I just like the feel of it. It feels cinematic, and they're not really here to shill out any gore or blood or any of that. Unless that was all censorship, they're not really trying to glorify killing. Let's just get that out of the way, right? So this is more, to me, in my opinion, this is more of a psychological anime about this gal. And yeah, this is episode 11. I just watched all the episodes. So I can, without a doubt, say this anime is incredibly niched. So yeah, like the main girl is Yuki, the girl that you guys saw here laying down. So it's all about Yuki, in my opinion, while the ending did shed a hell of a lot of questions for me about her mentor. Primarily, this is about her. And as I was saying, incredibly niched anime. Why do I say this? While episode 1, in my opinion, was probably the best. I mean, it was the greatest fucking introduction to the anime. Maybe 1 and 2. It just kind of fell short to have the same standards as episode 1. That wasn't carried out throughout the anime, in my opinion. Maybe for you guys it felt a little bit longer. So what I'm gonna say right now, if you do not like how much cinematic and this cozy feeling that it has no blood, it has no gore, it really doesn't have any of that. Maybe it has a little bit of instances where there was like death traps, and they would like show you them like kind of dying, but they didn't really show anything. They would just hint at it or posture it. I don't know how else to say it. This is more of a psychological anime, and the biggest drawback for me was the pacing. The pacing just felt extremely slow. I think around episode 3 or 4 or 5, I started picking up the pace. Like I started making the video player go faster. So straight to the point, if you don't like slow pacing animes, wow, I really can't see her face right now. If you don't like slow paced animes, this probably isn't for you. It's extremely slow paced, and the characters shuffle around a lot. You really can't have a favorite character. You really can't pick a favorite. I mean, unless you want one character to last one episode, it's like, bro, you really can't have a favorite character because they're just gonna shit, should I say this? Well, it's a death game. People are gonna come, they're gonna go. Not everyone's gonna play the death game, excluding maybe some veteran players. But most of the time, if you're gonna play a death game, like for example, if you played a death game, would you really want to go back and play another death game? Hell no. Like, you're putting your life on the line for millions of dollars. Hell no, man. It's not worth the smoke. It's not worth putting your life on the line. So they're gonna naturally shuffle around characters, players, details. And every single death game is gonna be different. So you really can't have a favorite character unless that character is Yuki. Yuki is pretty much in every single episode. Every single episode. But even then, Yuki is like a ghost. She really doesn't have a personality, and when she does have a personality, it's within a margin of extremes. You know what I'm saying? She's either too calm or too enraged. So there you have that. Maybe I'm doing an injustice and placing a blanket statement over it and who Yuki is. But to be fair and to be honest with you guys, I'm never gonna understand Yuki. Yeah, I'm never gonna understand Yuki. Why? Because who puts their life on the line? Like you see. Okay, so I'm gonna slow down a bit. I'm gonna slow it down a bit because that's just how the anime is, right? So if you can't handle how slow paced that I have started talking, then you're not going to be able to handle this anime. Everything is just handled in the way that there's just so many hard stops. Like, you guys just witnessed it not too long ago. You know, they would show a black screen and move on to another scene, or they would move on to another character. You know, like, they would just move on. That scene, like right here, boom, you see this black screen. So that segment has ended, and now it will go to another segment. And it's not necessarily about thinking. For me, it wasn't about thinking. It wasn't about putting a puzzle together. It was just that the puzzle was being presented in a way that you would have to be a particular person to be able to understand that puzzle. You know, for example, not everyone who is smart can fix a car, but that same person could probably fix a computer. Now that every person who can fix a car doesn't mean that they can fix that computer. See what I'm saying? So you just got to be a particular type of person. And I think this anime is just that type of niche where you have to just be that particular kind of person to enjoy this type of work. The OST in general was probably the biggest positive draw from this anime. Honestly, I enjoy the OST. I enjoyed the opening, the endings, you know, the ambience. Everything about that was great. But like I said, the story, I think, due to the pacing, fell short. And at the end of it all, it just felt like one giant fever dream. And the only thing that really resonated with me was Yuugi. Yuugi is the only one who really mattered. Yuugi is the only one in whom we can actually dissect. She's the only one that just makes sense, even though I don't understand her. See that, and that's the problem. They're really just hyper focused on Yuugi. But overall, I gotta say, I enjoyed the visuals. The visuals were fantastic. They did try something different with the whole not showing blood and just showing kind. I don't know if that's like a censorship thing, but I liked it. It was unique. A little bit of a spin on things. Don't need to have to glorify blood and murder and all that shit, or just blood in general. I don't know, man. If you don't like blood and stuff, but you like killing, like, I guess that could be a positive for you. But like I said, one giant fever dream. And Yuugi for, I guess, inheriting the mission to play 99 games. But because of the ending, I don't want to necessarily spoil it, but I gotta say the ending just made it feel as if they were trying to create and manifest Yuugi into a fucking monster. That's all I can say. They literally, I feel like this was all just to make Yuugi continue playing the death games. It's insane, but that is my theory.